my goodness, I don't even know if we need to do this training with increasing your bookings as I'm sitting here literally next to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bookings. This is awesome. So congratulations to all of you who have fashion event frenzy going on. It's exciting. So I know I'm probably training to the masses here as far as, I'm preaching to the choir is what I'm saying, because I know all of you ladies are the ones out there, and gentlemen are the ones out there with all these bookings. So, yeah, the guys are shouting. So let me just be clear that I know that you're booking, and I hope that something today will help you to increase those bookings. And of course, what you also want to be doing in increasing bookings is helping your downlines increase their bookings, because this business is, of course, doing your personal business first, but then encouraging and training your downlines to do that as well. So I'm going to just go through some really simple, this may be extremely elementary steps, but I know that it works because I've been training on this for years. And so have a pen, have a paper, and let's get ready to roll. So the first thing you've got to do to increase your bookings is to have a plan. I know that I talk to designers every day, and as I've been in this industry for the last 15 years, the first question I always say is, tell me when you have open for your fashion events this month. And I get a lot of sometimes, not a lot, but I get some hesitation on, just whenever I can have them. And what I want to encourage you to do is every single month that you have highlighted out either on your tablet or your smartphone, or if you're like me, I'm still a paper girl, so I have my paper calendar. The new calendar, the Mialisia calendar that's in the back office, can I just scream and shout for that? Oh my gosh, it is awesome. It starts in December, so get it now and start highlighting out when you're available in December. But let me just tell you that you need to have a plan, and you need to go into your fashion events that you're holding. The best way to get bookings is from your bookings, and our hostess, our fashionista plan rewards that. So you need to go into every single fashion event that you have and have your calendar highlighted out for the next 2 weeks. The latest, the longest I would suggest, unless you're totally booked up, past 4 weeks is 4 weeks, but we can have another training on that later. So, but anyways, have it highlighted out. Have a clean copy. I always took a clean copy and highlighted in green when I was available, and then I could use that to pass around to the guests that were there as I was closing up orders for other guests. They could go ahead and just write their name down. I didn't have to try and figure out their schedule with my schedule. They could just see my schedule and write down, oh, that date would work, and they can write their name, and it makes it really easy. So have a plan. Also communicate that plan with your family so that they know. I have always had really small little kids while I've been doing this business, and one of the things that I can tell you is that never have my children ever said, Mom, why are you leaving again? They never have cried when I've ran out the door. They just never have. And it's because I told them we have a family little meeting every single week on this is when people have all their stuff. This is when so-and-so's dance class is, and this is when the gymnastics is, and this is when Mom has her fashion events, and when I have my meetings. And our family knows that this is a family business. This isn't just Mom's business. This is a family business, and we get to do fun things, and we get to, buy and have the things that we have in our lives because of our family business. And so if you have small children, then you need to make sure that you're involving them. I've involved my children at very, very young ages. You can even give them some goals on, every fashion event that Mom holds, you're going to, put $1 in the jar, and they can pick out their favorite little toy that they want. I love Walmart comes out with like a holiday shopping kids toy catalog, basically, that they have for free right when you walk in, smart marketing. And I pick that up, and I let my kids cut out the things that they're earning, and then they have that on a little jar, and for every appointment I hold, they get to make money too, so that I can teach them the value of the dollar. So have a plan so you can get rebookings, have a plan so that your family can be involved, and that there's no surprises with what you're working on with your business. The second thing is to have a contact list. You've got to know who you're contacting to be able to start booking. Booking is all about just asking for the appointment. There's nothing fancy about it. I will give you some suggestions, but if you don't know who you're contacting, then it's awfully hard to get some bookings. If you are brand new, you should be having those contact lists at as many names as you possibly can think of. Don't prejudge. Don't say, oh, I don't know, she's super busy, or oh gosh, she's a busy mom, she's on the PTA, I don't know if she'd have time. And don't start selling people on their objections before you even talk to them. I hear that a lot when I'm coaching people in this industry as well. I just don't think, she doesn't wear a lot of jewelry, or she's so busy, or she's this, or she that. You know what? I never prejudge the contact list. I just make it and I start calling from the top down. So have that contact list, and it needs to continue to grow. One of the other things I see that people do in this industry is they hold on to people. And your contact list should constantly be added to. So if you've been in Mialisia with us since the pre-launch, and you've already been contacting a lot of people, keep building your contact list. I have been in this industry for 15 years, and even with my other company, when I would have new reps say, you know what, I've just called everyone that I know. And I just never believed that, because I hadn't still called everyone I knew, and I had recruited more and booked more and held more parties than anyone in my organization, and I still had new people I could call. So saying that you've already called everyone is a cop-out. It's an excuse. What you're probably saying is, I've called all the people who I thought would be easy, and I'm scared to call my chicken list. You're intimidating people. You're scared to call everybody. So your contact list needs to keep building all the time. I kept a little, now we have our smartphones, but in the beginning I kept just a little tiny little spiral notebook with me in my purse, because I would run into somebody or I would think of somebody's name, and I constantly had that contact list growing. Don't keep playing with the same people. The amount of time that you spend trying to get the same people to get excited and to book, you are losing out on other prospects. So keep calling through. That doesn't mean you can't go back and follow up with people. I truly believe that people's lives change every couple of months. And so making sure that you have a good system and you have the tracking to go back and contact people that you maybe did contact already a couple of months ago is really important too. The third thing is to be excited. Booking is an attitude. It isn't really so much about what you say, but how you say it. People want to be involved and want to be working with and want to hang out with and be friends with people who are fun and who are excited. You know those people who when you see their name on the caller ID, that you just you don't want to talk to them. And then those people who you say, oh my gosh, she's so fun, I want to talk to her. Well, what's the difference? I really think it's attitude. People who are fun, people who are engaging, people who are happy, people who are succeeding, people want to be around those type of people. So are you excited? Are you out of your mind excited? Are you having a hard time sleeping? I really think that booking is a non-issue. How to book should be a non-issue with Mialisia, because we have an incredible concept. We have something that no one has seen before. We have a product that is changing, a concept that is changing an entire industry. We are going to be the biggest jewelry company in the entire world. And that is exciting. We have something that has never been done before. Frankly, I believe that we are the Apple of jewelry. We are the Google of jewelry. And you know what? How exciting to be a part of that from the beginning. Everyone should be wanting to have a Mialisia Versa style jewelry fashion event, because it is the thing to do. It is the exciting thing to tell to their friends, and every woman needs to know that they don't have to be in jewelry bondage anymore, that they have choices, that they have added value, that they have the answers to all of the reasons that they couldn't wear or that they didn't wear jewelry before, or all the things that drove them crazy about wearing jewelry. We have all the solutions to all of their jewelry needs. So that should be something that you're sharing, and getting excited is going to really be the way that people are going to want to hold a fashion event with you. All right, let's move into some of the nuts and bolts. First of all, you need to practice. You have got to practice what to say. I wrote out, when I was brand new in this industry, I wrote out a script, and I practiced it. I practiced it daily. I practiced 20 minutes every day in front of the mirror smiling, because people can tell if you're smiling or if you're not smiling. So I practiced every single day, 20 minutes, morning and night, in front of the mirror smiling. And I didn't just practice what to say to get the booking, but I also practiced how to overcome their concerns, their objections, their questions. You know, the exciting thing is that people really are only going to give you about 5 or 6 concerns or objections. Every industry has about 5 or 6 things that people always say. And with holding fashion events, you guys probably already know what they're saying. You know, I don't wear jewelry. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of time. My house is too small. Whatever those things are, you know what they are. The things that you're hearing in the beginning, I didn't really know what to say when someone said that. But when I wrote that down, I literally got 3x5 cards, just like because I was in college at the time when I started in this industry, just like studying for an exam. I put the objection on the front, I put what I was going to say on the back, and then I would have people quiz me. I would say, tell me you don't wear jewelry. And then I would know what to say to them. Tell me that you don't have time. And then I would know what to say to them. You need to practice. You know, it's just like Olympians. Olympians don't just go out there and, you know, perform. They don't just, you know, like gymnasts, they don't just go out there and do a vault. They practice over and over and over again. People who are experts in an industry, whether that's in sports or in business, they practice. And you are not going to be one of the all-stars if you're not practicing what you need to say. So writing out what you're going to say, practicing being excited, practicing overcoming their questions and objections and concerns, that is really important to do on a daily basis. All right, I want to give you just a basic booking outline. I call this Booking 101. Just a good flow of what to say to book really, truly anything. You can use this to book a fashion event. You can use it to book a time to share our business opportunity with someone. You can use it to book a guest to come to an event. You can use it to schedule a date with your husband or a dental appointment. It really is Booking 101. So this is the outline. First thing you're going to do, especially when you're calling people, is to make sure that people know your name. And if you have a name that, you know, a lot of people have, like Ariane, okay, not everybody has that name. But, you know, if you have a name that is, I don't want to say common because I don't want you to think that you're common, but if you have a name like Sarah or Kimberly or something that, you know, is a pretty, you know, a lot of people have that name, right? Then you want to make sure that you're saying your first and last name. I'll have people call me up and say, oh my gosh, hey, it's Sarah. I'm like, oh my gosh, which Sarah? Is that Sarah from church? Is that Sarah from my neighborhood? Is that Sarah from, you know, my business? Is that, you know, and it takes me a minute to like hear their voice so that I recognize who it is. So just keep in mind that you want to, and it also sounds professional to say your first and last name. If you have a unique name like Ariane, you want to make sure that you're saying that clearly and that you're helping people to remember your name. So I always tell people that my name is like Marianne without the M on the front. That's the easiest way to remember it, Marianne, Ariane, and people can remember my name. So make sure that you say your name, you say who it is when you call. Sometimes we get so excited, we're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I've got to tell you something, and they're like, who is this? And then also be polite in asking people if it's a good time to talk. That's just phone etiquette. It's just common courtesy. But again, sometimes we're so excited we forget to ask people. And then what can happen is that maybe you've called somebody who would have scheduled a fashion event with you, but their dog just died, or their kid just threw up all over them, or they're just sitting down to the dinner table, or their husband, they just had a fight with their husband. They're, you know, now not that they're going to tell you those things, but they might just say, you know what, it's not really a good time to talk. And then you can say, you know what, no problem. When would be a good time for me to reach you? And you can set that appointment to actually call them back. I would rather have to call them back when it's a good time and I know I'm in a better place to get that fashion event booked, or to whatever I'm calling about to get that taken care of, then try and talk to them in a hectic time where they're not actually really listening to me. Okay, the second thing you're going to do is tell them why you are calling. And that's really important to state your reason that you're calling. So if you're booking a fashion event, I would sound something like, hi Sarah, this is Ariane Morgan. Is this a good time to talk? And she'll say, well, yeah, sure. And I'd say, you know what, I am so excited. I want to tell you the reason I'm calling is because I have just started with a brand new ground level industry-changing company, and it is we have a brand new concept in jewelry, and I'm calling because I want you to be able to be one of the very first hostesses for this exciting company, and I can't wait to tell you and to show you about this incredible concept. So why am I calling? If I'm calling to invite them to listen to the business opportunity, I would say, you know what, Sarah, I'm calling because I'm so excited. I'm a part of a brand new industry-changing company that's at the ground level, and I don't know if this would be for you or not, but I would love to tell you more about it. I'm not asking you to sign up, but I'm asking you to listen to see if this would be for you or not. So I'm stating right from the beginning why I'm calling. Now, I want to alert you to something that I see that happens a lot in this industry, and that is that we start making our contact list, and usually in the beginning it's people that we know really well. And I hear things like this: well, I don't want them to think that I'm just calling about Mialisia. I don't want them to think I'm just, they're girlfriends from high school, but I haven't talked to them forever, and I don't want them to think I'm just calling to get them interested in the business or to get them to book. Well, sorry, sister, that's exactly why you are calling them. And so what happens is that people usually start with small talk in the beginning, and then they lead into the reason that they're calling. I want to tell you, psychologically, you need to switch that, because nothing is more insincere than when you have somebody call you up out of the blue and they're asking you about your family and asking you about your kids, and then they say, well, the reason I'm calling is because I just started in this new business and da-da-da-da-da-da. Then everything that beforehand they've talked to you about seems insincere. So I want you to switch that. I want you to say, you know what, I want to catch up with you, but first I got to tell you the reason why I'm calling. Then take care of business first, and then say, you know what, I haven't talked to you forever. Tell me about your family. Tell me about what's going on in your life. And I promise you that they will feel the sincerity, and your phone call will be more genuine, and your real concern and desire to know about their life situation will be felt when you take care of business first, and then you talk about their life or catching up with them. So tell them why you're calling first. The third step in the outline is what I like to call WIIFM. Everyone's tuned into that same radio station. What is in it for me? So when you're calling about a fashion event, oh my goodness, do we have the most incredible and generous fashionista program? We do. And I tell people, I want you to be one of the very first Mialisia fashionistas. That's what we call our hostesses. And what I really want you to do is I want you to let me help you get a ton of jewelry for free. Now, who's going to say no to that? No, I don't want free jewelry. No, I certainly don't want you to help me get tons of free jewelry for free. Everyone wants that. So when I say I want you to be, not will you be one of our first fashionistas, or can I tell you about what you could get for free, just say, oh my gosh, the reason I'm calling is because I'm a part of this ground level industry-changing jewelry, Versa-style jewelry company. It's so much more than jewelry. You just have to trust me on that. And I'm so excited because I'm looking for people to be the very first fashionistas. That's what we call our hostesses for Mialisia. And I want to help you get a ton of free jewelry. We spoil our hostesses rotten. And so I want to help you to get a ton of jewelry. I want you to pick out everything that you would love for free, and then I'm going to help you get it for free. Who wouldn't want that? So you're never asking or saying, I want you to be a hostess, or, could you be a hostess for me? Or, you know what, I'd love to tell you about what you can get for free. No, you're going to tell them you're going to help them get free stuff, and that you want them to be one of the very first people to hostess a Mialisia fashion event. Then the next thing you're going to do is schedule a time. So when I lead into getting the time scheduled, I would say, I want to help you get tons of free jewelry. So what's best for you? Are weekends or weekdays better? So did you notice I didn't say, so does that sound fun? Or, could you do that for me? Or, would you be interested in being a Mialisia fashionista? That kind of sounds wimpy. And again, people don't want to follow wimpy. They want to follow powerful. They want to be a part of something exciting. And so if you give them two options and either option is good, then they're going to say, well, they might say, oh, this week is crazy. And I just say, that's okay. Just in general, are weekends or weeknights better for you? And, they'll say weekends. Weekends are better. Okay, is that a Friday night or a Saturday or a Sunday? Because one of the things that I see, and I've seen over the years that people do, is they look at their schedule and they say, okay, you know what, let me tell you what I have open. I have, Tuesday night at 7 or Saturday morning at 10. And the person they're talking to says, oh, shoot, neither one of those times work. And then they say, oh, okay, well, the next thing I have open is this time and this time. And then people say, oh, shoot, I'm busy. That doesn't work for me. And so then you go, oh, well, it doesn't seem like our schedules work up, so I can't get the fashion event booked. But I promise you, if you lead into weekdays or weekends, and then you can say, is it a Friday night or a Saturday? Is Saturday during the day better for you? Or is an evening better? Or is a Sunday better? What's best for you on that weekend? And they can say, you know what, a Saturday morning would be awesome. Then you can look at your schedule and look at those highlighted times, and you can say, oh my gosh, you know what, my next available Saturday morning is this date. Does that work? And usually it will. If it doesn't, you can tell her the next Saturday that you have available. So when you're getting that time scheduled, back her into the specific time, or back him into that specific time by saying, is it a weekday or weekend or weeknight that would work best for you? Then I am going to put a little plug in here specifically for the fashion event, that once you get that date and time scheduled, that's when you want to start working for her guest list. So if I call Sarah and I say, okay, we get Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, Sarah's going to do her fashion event. I say, oh my gosh, Sarah, I'm so excited. We are going to be partners together. We are going to be, like business partners in getting you the most jewelry for free. And so one of the things that I know how to do is I know how to have a great fashion event. And all I'm asking for you to do is help me to get people there. So we can do this one of two ways. We can either, I traditionally like to do all the work and let you have all the fun. So one of the things you can do is get me all the names and numbers and email addresses of the people that you want to have come. Now, I don't want you to find out who can come first. I just want you to give me all of your family and friends and everyone who you would like to know about this fashion event, everyone who you would love to have come. If they could, knowing that they're not all going to be able to come, we're going to just get everybody's information. And then I'm going to help you call and invite them. Now, I know that some of you have people who say, I don't feel comfortable giving you all that information. And that really can be another call on how to work with your hostess and how to, call through your guest list and how to make sure that you're getting at least 15 people. That's a whole nother conference call. But basically, the thing you need to do is make sure that either she's on top of calling through them and making sure that people are coming, or that you are. I personally know if I'm leaving my family for a night, that I want this to be the most effective time. And so if I can take control and ownership of who's coming, then I'm always going to have a better turnout. But I tell her that, typically we can maximize our fashionista rewards when we have at least 15 people attending. So you and I are going to do everything possible to make sure that we have 15 people coming to your fashion event. And again, another topic for another day, or talk to your upline about how to make sure that you get 15 people coming to every fashion event. But start that right then. And what I do on the phone at that very time is I say to her, who are your top 5 most fun friends? I'm not saying that you know that they can come or not, but who are the top 5 people that you would love to have come? Because, you guys, there's really only a couple of reasons why people cancel their fashion events. And the first reason that they cancel is because they didn't invite anyone or no one can come. And the second reason that they cancel is because they didn't invite anyone and no one can come. So you're going to, if you can really work on, really getting that guest list and working with your hostess to make this a successful fashion event, you're going to go from a 50% hold rate to like a 90 or 95% hold rate. So make sure that you're plugging in with your upline and really getting some good training about how to coach your hostess and how to make sure that you're getting a large attendance at all of your fashion events. And I start that off by getting her first 5 names right when I book the appointment. Then I'm going to want to confirm the time with her, and that's really important to do too, because maybe she is busy, with her kids, or she has other things going on. Women are multitaskers. We're doing lots of things at once. So I just make sure to repeat to her, Sarah, I am so excited for your fashion event on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, and I throw in a little cancellation clause at the very end. I say, you know what, Sarah, this is just such an exciting concept, and my schedule is filling up so fast that I actually have people who want to hold fashion events that I don't have available time for them. So I do have a cancellation list, and when you do work your business this way, designers, you will have a cancellation list, I promise you. So I say, you know what, I do have a cancellation list, and so if for any reason, your kids start puking, or something crazy happens in your life, or you get sick and you need to cancel this, if there's any possible way that you can give me at least 72 hours notice that you need to cancel so that I can fill that spot in with somebody else, that would be super helpful. This isn't a hobby for me. This is what I do for my business. I'm building a huge organization, and really the holiday season, as you know, is packed full of people wanting to get this product because it's the ultimate gift for the holiday season for women. And so I'm really busy. So if you can let me know 72 hours in advance, that would be very helpful. If you can't let me know 72 hours in advance, what I want you to do, Sarah, is I want you to tell me on your contact list, on your guest list, on your invite list, whatever you're calling it, I want you to tell me if there's anyone on that list who could fill in as a substitute hostess, as a substitute fashionista. Let's say that if your kids do get sick, or you get sick last minute, or something happens last minute that you have to cancel. I don't want, all these people that were expecting to come to your fashion event to have to reschedule. And I still want you to get the fashion event benefits, the hostess benefits. And you guys, I can tell you from experience that there have been many times where I have gone to my hostesses' homes, and their sister-in-law has filled in for them until they could get there, or their good girlfriend was the hostess because, they got called out of town on business. And those have been actually some of my most highest selling parties, is when we had a substitute hostess. Now, I give that substitute hostess some free jewelry because I'm so glad that the fashion event didn't cancel, that party didn't cancel. So I do that out of just my own profit, but I'd rather do that than have a fashion event that didn't hold. So I do always ask for that substitute hostess, and I confirm that time. And again, that just lets people know that you are professional. When you treat your business like a business, then you are actually going to have people respect your business like it's a business, not just a hobby. So again, just to go over the outline, your name, is this a good time to talk? Why you're calling, the purpose in your call, what's in it for me, what are they getting for free? And I will just say, that it doesn't have to be, specifically with fashion events, that's obviously our fashionista reward plan. But if you're inviting them to be a guest to an opportunity meeting, or you're inviting them to listen to the business opportunity, you may think, well, what can I tell them? What's in it for them? Well, you know what? Maybe it's a night away. Maybe it's an opportunity to meet some successful people. Maybe it's, the opportunity to hear about an incredible new business opportunity. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're giving them, like free jewelry. It can be the non-tangibles that they would receive by doing one of those aspects of the business. Then you're going to schedule the time, back them into give them 2 different options. Both of those options are good. Back them into that. And then get their guest list started. If you're booking a fashion event, get them started right there, and then confirm the time. Give them a cancellation clause. Treat this like a business. and then other people will respect it like a business, and honestly, it will then pay you like a business. When you book this way, your schedule will be filled. You will be booked up, and you won't have any openings, and you will have to have a cancellation list for people who want to get into you. That is what we're going for. We want in this company to make sure that every single night we're out there holding 50 and 100, 200 fashion events a night. That's what we're doing with Mialisia, because honestly, you all know that the best way to show this concept is in person. The best way to get women excited and to see that light bulb go off in their brain is to do this, to show this concept and do this in person. Again, I just want to wrap up. I don't know if we're going to be opening. I don't know if we're going to be opening this call up to some questions. We're going to grab Michael. But I just do want to, again, reiterate that booking is an attitude. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. If you want to have 10 parties every single week, you can. I can tell you, I've done multiple weeks where I have done 10 parties in a week. You might think that's crazy, but it actually is exhilarating. It actually is. They have been the most fun weeks I've ever had in my business. So you know what? If you really want to impress your upline and corporate, have a 10 fashion event week to kick off the holiday selling season, and that is not out of the question to do that. But whatever you think you can do is what you're going to do. So get that attitude that everyone that you talk to will book with you. And when you're that excited and you have that expectation, then you're going to get the booking. So, Michael, do we have questions we're going to open it up for?
We sure do. We have a couple of questions. A lot of the questions are kind of asking the same thing. What's a great way to get bookings from vendor events?
Oh, my goodness. Well, Janice Martin and Alicia Withers just had a phenomenal vendor event up in a small town in Idaho, and they made these cute little buttons that said, "Ask me how you can get an item for 75% off." And they got a ton of vendor events booked because people wanted that 75% off item. Now, they didn't give them that item. They're not going to give it to them until their fashion event actually holds. But it started off, well, how can I get 75% off? And then they could excite them about holding a fashion event. So doing something like that is really cute. You should see their buttons. They're so cute.
Another question we have from Facebook is, how can we make catalog shows successful?
Okay, well, that's a really good question. And frankly, we don't want people to just have a retail experience. That when they just look at a catalog, it's really hard for them to get excited about the concept. So I really think that they need to have a piece of jewelry, one that really works with the VersaStyle concept. So although Cleopatra is one of my personal favorite pieces, it's not as VersaStyle as, let's say, spun sugar, which is a really great standard piece to have in someone's jewelry collection with Mialisia. So I really think that you need to have shown the person who's going to do the catalog party for you, you need to show them and excite them about the concept so they're just as excited as you are about it. And I really do think they need to have a couple of pieces and that they will know how to demo the concept, because if you just give them a catalog, although our catalogs are beautiful, it really doesn't show the concept. It really doesn't excite them about the concept. So be really careful with catalog shows. Is my advice, but make sure that you are selling the concept. That's why people have gotten excited about this business and about joining and about being fashionistas, is because of the concept. And I think we need to do more in the field about hyping and exciting people about the concept. So that's how you're going to get your catalog shows to be more successful, is if you really sell people on the concept, and if you have your what I call your silent hostess, right, because she's not doing it at her house. Your silent hostess has some pieces.
Okay, another question that we have is, do you leave messages when you are calling through your fashionista list if they don't answer?
Okay, that's a really good question. You know what? With that, I do. there's a lot of times that I don't leave a message because I don't want to leave the ball in their court. But when I'm calling through, like let's say you do have 10 fashion events in a week and you have guest lists of 50 people, then you're going to have to leave messages because you're not going to physically be able to talk to every single person out there. So, but get them excited. When you leave a message, say, hey, Amy, this is Ariane, and you don't know me, but I am helping your friend Michael. She's having a Mialisia fashion event, and you probably never heard of Mialisia before unless Michael told you about it, but we have a jewelry concept that is changing the way that women wear jewelry, and Michael's having her party on Wednesday night at 6:30, and she really wants to know if you're going to be able to make it or not. So if you can either call her and let her know, or you can call me back, and I tell her my number, and let me know, you're going to die when you see this new concept. So really dangle the carrot, create some curiosity, excite them, and leave that quick message and get them excited and let them hear the enthusiasm in your voice. I've had husbands of people that I've called, when I meet their husband, say, oh my gosh, I was the one who got your message, and I told my wife she needs to be that excited. So people really do, don't be like a crazy chihuahua on crack, but, make sure that you're enthusiastic because people really do respond to enthusiasm.
Okay, and then Amy wanted to know if you can post a picture of those 75% off buttons.
I'll make sure that Michael can put that on our official Mialisia designer page. Or if Alicia or Janice, if you're on the line, if you can post that on the Mialisia designer page, that would be awesome. They're really cute. They just were a pink button that they made, and then it had twirly ribbon coming out the back. So be creative. Create a button that says that, and then they just had like colorful, I think it was like the peach, the same colors as Mialisia, branding colors coming out, and they wore that, and people asked them.
Okay, so that's all of the questions that we have. So we are, let me make sure. Looks like we got one more. Okay, any other getting bookings from event ideas?
You know what? I have trained on this, and I know that this has been really successful for a lot of the designers on Team Magic, and that is your, it was made with a little girl hair bow, Janice said. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. I really love the book to look idea, which is to give every single person an envelope that says book to look, and inside that envelope you can give away, earrings or coupons for the product. It doesn't have to be a lot. One of the envelopes says jackpot, and jackpot you can give away a statement piece or give away a Versa-style piece for free, and they don't get to open up that envelope unless they schedule their fashion event that night. I know I was looking on here and saying people to say, well, they didn't have their calendars at their fashion events. You know what? I really do believe that designers are booking fashion events out too far. You know what? People know what their schedule is this week. They do. They know if they have an opening on Friday. They know if they have an opening next Tuesday. If you make sure to schedule out no more than 2 weeks in advance, people know what their schedules are. So I really do. I want to say I think that's a cop-out. That's an excuse from the people that you're talking to. Oh, I don't have my calendar. Let me know. They're trying to blow you off. So you just need to be a little more assertive and get them a little more excited about what they could get for free. And again, I could do a whole nother training on how to close out your guests and get those fashion events. But the book to look thing really works. People do stuff when they want to get something badly enough. I'll have people tell me, I don't have any money, and then they post that they just got their new iPhone 5S, or that they just got a new iPad, or, that they're taking their kids to Disneyland, and they just told me that they were broke. So people have money, and they have time for what they really want. So you just need to make sure that you're doing a good enough job exciting them about what they want. At vendor events, you know what? I think getting leads is the key, making sure that you have lead slips, and you're going to have to put some rubber to the road and put some elbow grease in and call people back. So yes, you're going to be able to get those handful of people who will book right then, but you also just need to get some lead generation slips, and one of the questions on there should be, I want to get free jewelry. and then you call people up and you say, oh my gosh, Michael, I noticed that you marked that you want to get free jewelry, and then you can lead into the booking. And again, that could be a whole nother topic for another day. Talk to your uplines about that, but get lead slips. I have heard of people out there holding fashion events and they're not, or they're vendor events and they don't have lead slips. I think that's a huge mistake. I went and did a 2-hour, really small vendor event in a high school gymnasium, and I got over 200 leads in 2 hours. And you just have to start picking up the phone and calling them. Do I tell people what's in the envelopes, or how does she get them excited? I tell them there's a lot of great free jewelry in the envelopes. There's discounts, and I tell them that the jackpot is a statement piece of their choice for free. So I don't go into all the details, but I tell them they're going to want it, and then they do.
Another question that we have is having an event the same week you book it enough time to get guests there and to be successful?
Yeah, I do. I think it is. I've had, I've booked parties like for the very next day and had a lot of success. The success from your fashion event is going to come from the amount of hostess coaching that you do. And so whether that's 2 weeks out or whether that's for the next night, you can create a lot of success really fast. I don't think people have to wait out as far as they're waiting. I've found actually in the industry that if you book further out than 2 weeks, your success rate actually goes down. And so I am a huge proponent of scheduling every 2 weeks. So yeah. So you can have it the same exact week, and you can have a lot of success from that because, again, you guys know, we know what our schedules are. We know what we have going on Friday, but we might not know what we have going on a Friday in November yet. and hate to burst everybody's bubble, but, Mialisia is just probably not at the height of people's priority list. So if they have something that comes up that they think is more important, they will cancel. So, but if they don't have anything going on, when people are sitting around, they're like, man, I don't have anything going on tonight. And people go, and then they can say, oh, you know what? I could have something fun to do the very next day. People know what their schedules are when it's a short distance. So you can have a lot of success in a short period of time. You just have to make sure you're doing the prep work, that you're getting your hostess excited and you're calling or having her call, or both of you are calling and contacting her guests and getting them excited about coming too.